Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial. Today we're going to create zero waste card backgrounds with the brand new November 2023 Mama Elephant XOXO grid cover. So everything I'm using today is from the November release, including the adorable stamps and dies. And I really wanted to show how you could take one background and create multiple cards with it, as well as absolutely zero waste. We are going to start by die cutting the XOXO grid cover 5 times. I have some aqua, a couple of shades of pink, red, and white that I have die cut with this. We are going to use the positive and negative elements to create our card bases. I also have 5 white top fold card bases here. Side fold would also work. And we're going to start by gluing our covers in place right on our card background. Now you can use this with or without the negative space or the positive space. That means you can use these individually if you wanted to. You could take all kinds of the die cut letters and maybe create your own design, or you can do what I'm going to do today, where I am going to inlay them into the grid cover. Another fun idea would be a shaker cover, whether it's a traditional shaker or a flat shaker. Lots of ways to really utilize this in amazing ways. I love the grid covers from Mama Elephant. They always come up with amazing designs. Now, this November release, which this is the November 2023 release, is their last release for the year, meaning there won't be a release in December, but they will be back in January. And so this is a very great release, obviously for love and Valentine's Day, but I tend to like these colors for lots of things. So I tried to steer away from a Valentine's feel for my cards and went more for birthday and friendship and just, you know, things like sending a jar full of love and have a very good day and flying by to say hi. So don't pigeonhole it into the it has to be Valentine's. Obviously amazing for Valentine's Day, but doesn't have to be, which I love. So you're going to notice I have piles of letters now that I have all of my covers I cut, and I'm inlaying the letters. I found it easiest to really work like about 1 row at a time, and I'm alternating, meaning because this is the aqua blue cover, there is not going to be aqua blue letters. With this system, if you die cut it 5 times, it's going to work out. I think it would work in with other amounts, I guess I want to say, of cardstock as well, like different amounts of backgrounds. It may not have to be 5, but for how I wanted to create this, where I had a variety of pinks and reds and whites for each background, this really worked best for me. So, and I did not want to have any waste, meaning I didn't want to throw a single piece of paper away that I die cut for the background. Everything here is being used, every single component. And I think that is so amazing because not only do you get one awesome card in a crafting session, but you get 5. And these did not take all that long to put together. It's a lot of die cutting, and then it's stamping and coloring, die cutting again, and basically assembling. So you can really get a ton of cards made in one sitting if you want to, or maybe even a couple of evenings, or however you like to do that. I would maybe break it down into backgrounds one evening, stamping and maybe starting to color, maybe spreading that out over an evening or 2, grabbing and stamping some sentiments, getting those prepped and ready, and then assembly. So you could really break it down into multiple evenings if you wanted to, and you could make even more than the 5 cards that I made in this video. So I am going to continue my assembly process here, where I am inlaying all the letters into the backgrounds. It is going to be the same process no matter which background. It's just a difference in color. So where I didn't do the aqua letters for the first card, now I am. So you're going to see that. I am not going to include all of this in the video. I wanted to show a little bit of it here, but then I will assemble the rest of these off camera. Now, when we get to the white background, that one is going to include all colorful letters and no white letters. I will have used all of them by that point. Another fun idea would be rainbow. And here is a look at all 5 backgrounds prepped and ready to go. Next, we are going to stamp all of the images, not all, but most of the images from Very Good Day and Jar of Hearts. Both of these are brand new stamp and die sets from Mama Elephant for the November 2023 release, and I want to color my images to match the look and feel of the backgrounds. I am using Olo markers to color in my images. I stamped my images on Neenah 110-pound weight smooth white cardstock. This is my go-to cardstock. I love this cardstock. It is what I am most comfortable coloring on, and I like the weight of the paper. Now, I zoomed in. I want you to see I oversaturated my cardstock. The color escaped outside the line just a little bit, even though I used a alcohol ink friendly ink. I used Hero Arts Intensified black ink. That's what I use probably 99% of the time. And that's okay. I'm going to go with it. As I continue to color and work on this, I get a little smarter. I take a little bit more time. I maybe don't immediately go and try to blend out. I'm laying down my light color, then going back with my dark color, and then going back with light if I need to. I'm going to give it a minute. Give it a minute for that first layer to dry, or even the second layer to dry before going back over it. And that's going to eliminate a little bit of that bleeding. Now, I will say that I did not restamp anything other than that poor little bear with his flowers. You can see I accidentally stamped a heart right over him. Oops. So I do start to color him. You'll see that in the video, and I quickly adjust, and I have to actually mark him out. I thought I would just remember, not so much. So I will just put a little X through him in a little bit. I did start with the Jar of Hearts. I am a sucker for anything with a jar. My favorite thing about this stamp set, it's such a silly little thing, is the little tag with the strings that you can customize. I love it. And it comes with all kinds of sentiments, you guys, that you can use to customize that little tag that wraps around. Now, maybe you want to use a different sentiment on your card and you don't need the little tag, or you want something a little bit bigger and bolder because this is pretty tiny, which I think it's just absolutely tiny and cute. There is the option where you can stamp like a little string with a bow, and you can die cut that instead to wrap around your jar. So then you could maybe add a die cut sentiment or a larger sentiment or whatever the case may be for your design. The other fantastic thing about this set is the jar comes where you can fill it with the hearts. That's a separate image plus a separate die. I actually just stamped mine right into the jar. But because of that, that is going to allow you to use the jar in different ways. So let's say you have florals that you want to use this as a vase. The die actually die cuts the little slit there so that you can stick things inside. You'll see me stick the hearts into my jar. Maybe you want to turn this upside down and make it a little snow globe for some of your favorite Mama Elephant images or other images from your stash. The possibilities are endless here. So it really extends the life of this jar past just being for Valentine's Day or a love theme card or whatever the case may be. So I love that. Now remember I said some of the color escaped from outside. This is where I'm kind of hiding that fact. I want my jar to have that blue tint to it. Because I've used aqua in all of my cards in some way or another, I decided to color those with this marker as well. So I've got a couple of shades of the blue-green. I will blend it out with a 0. That's basically a colorless blender. That means it has blending solution in it. That also means be careful because it's not necessarily a blender so much as what I like to call, it softens the edges. And it's got so much of the solution in it, it could cause some bleeding. So I try to use that minimally, but I really like it for something like a glass effect where I just need a lighter shade of what I've colored. And it doesn't really make a lighter shade, but it does soften those edges so that it makes the aqua, in this case, blend out just a little bit. So that is what our jar is going to look like. I did do 2 of these. I have 5 cards. 3 cards are going to feature a Beary Good Day. So a bear of some sort with a fun little scene and sentiment from Beary Good Day. 2 of my cards will feature the jar and this little gift tag. Now I did both of mine exactly the same. I am anticipating using my cards as birthday, thank you, friendship, something in that line rather than Valentine's for this. But you guys, if you've been here for a while, you know that I love heart everything. So I am very comfortable using hearts for any kind of card. Beary Good Day, so cute. I love the Mama Elephant Bears. If you have any of the previous Mama Elephant Bear stamp sets, these are going to coordinate back beautifully. You could even mix and match if you want to. If you have questions about the Olo marker colors I'm using for anything in this card design, I will list those down in the description box below the video here on YouTube, as well as over on my blog. So definitely check that out if you're interested. I love Olo markers. I'm really loving using them. I know I mentioned earlier that Neenah is not necessarily the recommended cardstock for using with Olos, but here is what I want to tell you about coloring or paper crafting or really any craft. Do what you like. Try something. If it doesn't work, you don't have to do that. But I'm a big proponent of playtime. Play with your products. See what works for you. See what you're comfortable with. See how you like to use your products and make it your own. And that's really what I'm doing here. I've mentioned probably in live videos that I have done and things that one of the reasons I prefer the Neenah 110-pound weight is that the Express It cardstock is just really thin. It is not the same weight of cardstock. It does work really well as far as blending, but I don't love how my images look die cut from it. That's not to say I never use it. I just prefer the little bit heavier weight cardstock. So that is one of the other reasons that I'm using this. Lots and lots of coloring. I am going to now speed up the coloring just a tiny bit to save some time today. You will notice a ton of repetition in my coloring. So I am going to be going back and using the same lightish red color, the same bright pink, the same light pink color combination, the aqua. I did pull in some gray for the lids of the jar. I wanted it to kind of look like a ball jar lid, just a basic lid. I did pull in some yellows for the sunshine and greens for the stem of the flowers, which it's this flower combination that I realized that this bear has a little problem. So, oops. I will color the flowers that the bear's holding on the left side of the screen exactly the same. I should have just crossed off the first image to begin with to help me out, but that's okay. I probably could have maybe even trimmed him down and used him. That's probably what I should have done. There are multiples of some of the small images from the stamp sets. The teeny tiny heart from Very Good Day, I did stamp 3 times so that I could use that with the bear holding all of the little, or kind of holding the hearts and they're falling on the ground. That's probably my favorite image from this set. I just really think that's sweet. I also, the larger heart here that I'm coloring that goes with the jar of hearts, I stamped that 4 times so that I could have a couple of extra hearts to tuck into the die cut jar for both of my card designs. The coloring was very quick as far as coloring this many images goes because I did eliminate lots of extra color. The bears are all going to be colored the same color combination. I alternated between the 3 different color combinations for hearts and flowers. So light pink, bright pink, and red. That helps when doing a mass producing project like this if you kind of cut down some of those extra choices so you're not having to flip between so many different choices. I also kept the caps off my markers so that I could just pick them up and color. So you'll notice that a lot throughout that I am going back and forth between my markers. And then once I got closer to the end where I could see the end in sight, I suppose, I colored everything that was brown. And then I tried to color everything that was light pink, everything that was dark pink, everything that was red. Now I have all of my die cut pieces. We are ready to assemble all of these on each of the backgrounds. What I always like to do is start by laying everything out. So I have my 5 backgrounds. I'm going to figure out which elements go with it, which background. I have some additional sentiments from Very Good Day laid out so that I know exactly what I want to use for each. And then I will start the assembly process. This is quick. I did use foam adhesive all the things, because I love how it looks to pop up our elements off of the background just a little bit. So we're going to simply assemble these. I do want to show you that little cut in the top of the jar, which again is brilliant for anything you want to tuck into this jar. You guys, candy canes. How about candy canes, lollipops, Christmas greenery? You could really use this in so many ways. I can't stress enough that I really, really love this set. If you have sentiments small enough, even if you don't want to use the sentiments from this set, you could use something else to fit inside here, and I think that would be cute. Or if you're going to do maybe Christmas, maybe you could stamp something small like a candy cane or a snowflake or something on here. So very, very cute, or even like a little to from. I may try to do that at some point just because I think it's absolutely adorable. And I started with my jar cards. I did tip them slightly, and then you can see how they look popped up. I think hearts down near the base would be cute, but I definitely think we need the hearts tucked into the top of the jar. I like that as far as balance on the card design. I like the lid, like it's knocked off the top and you're, dropping hearts into there. I'm going to finish each of these cards with an assortment of clay confetti and gemstones. I think I only showed the clay confetti for these 2 cards, but I will be using the Simon Says Stamp Rainbow Splash little mini gemstones as well for a nice little finish. We'll use the light pink and red from that. I'm using these Pretty Pink Posh clay confetti pieces. I love the XO, but I didn't really feel like I needed more XO with this XO background that we have. I'm using like the little pink, red, and white peppermints, and then the red, white, and pink hearts. I believe all of these confetti pieces are from the Pretty Pink Posh collection from earlier this year. Super cute and instant card. So let's go ahead and assemble the other one off camera. Then I do want to go ahead and take my 3 sentiments I've picked from Beary Good Day. I'm going to stamp those on a scrap piece of white cardstock with Fawn Lobster red ink. This is my favorite red ink. I know I mentioned this a lot. It is my go-to for a true red. I really, really love it. And I am going to die cut each of these now with Simon Says Stamp sentiment label dies to make sentiment strips for the remaining 3 cards. And happy accident, because this does not happen very often, these each took a different size of sentiment strips, so I was able to die cut them all at one time. Now, what I like to do is line up the sentiment with one side of the sentiment strip and then die cut it. And then I will take and flip that little die cut piece and die cut the other side. You just have to barely roll it through your die cut machine to pop that other edge, I guess, if you will, to make a perfect die cut sentiment strip. I love how it looks. You could also just use a paper trimmer if you want to. So here are my remaining 3 cards. Each is going to feature kind of a different little bear or bear scene. We're going to have our bear holding his flowers with the little individual flower like it fell out of his bouquet. And then that one will have the Have a Very Good Day. I am using foam adhesive on the back of each of these, and I liked how it looked where he kind of covers up an O. You'll notice that with 2 of my cards, this one and the bear holding all of the hearts. I felt like design wise that looked really cute. As always, I go in and I like to add black pin detail to eyes and noses as necessary with a Sakura jelly roll pin. You can really see, compare the bear on the left compared to the other 2, how that face pops. It is subtle, but it is effective. I'm also going to take a white pin and add some white pin detail here and there to my cards, place foam adhesive on the back of my sentiment strip, and then I need to figure out kind of placement. Ultimately, I originally had planned where I end up putting it, but then I moved it all over the place. Have fun with it. See kind of what you like. Consider the XO background kind of like you would pattern paper. And there is how all 3 of my background or my cards turned out. I have finished by adding a scattering of gems, heart confetti, and all of that good stuff. And then we'll take a look at all 5 finished cards. So again, I've used the Beary Good Day stamps and dies, Jar of Hearts stamps and dies, and the XOXO grid cover creative cuts. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for these 0 waste background cards featuring Mama Elephant. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, click the like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to always be notified when I have a new paper crafting video or I go live. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next time.